We want to welcome everyone back to another Tuesday night that God has blessed us to be here. To the On Your Mark show, sports, business, community, entertainment, and just the people's show. I'm your host, Coach Fly. God has blessed us again, but 2025, here we are, the second show. And like I told you, God blessed us to be here, and I said that we were going to do a special edition show this Tuesday, and here we are. And you see the panel is full, and we have a special guest. Can they see him? My producer Angel, can they see our special guest online? We got a special guest. We doing them live via satellite there. And let me know when he's pulled up. But in the meantime, starting to my far right, and y'all all know you can chime in. Everybody's on Facebook or YouTube or dollars on there. You put share, and your people be shared right in with us. But let's start to the far right, and then Angel, when you get him pulled up, we'll have him to introduce himself. Far right.
Corey Cleghorn, Urban Specialist.
I'm Tron Grant, learn with Train.
Tyrone Langford, security and pastor.
Derek Durden with Derek Durden LLC.
Leonard Miles.
Ricky Bennett.
And is he in? Did he already chime? There he is right there. Can they hear him?
Michael Robinson.
And Michael Robinson, but we all in. And what did I say the night show was gonna be? Do everybody remember?
Guilty.
Guilty of innocence.
I know Derek looking at me because he's still smiling.
Guilty again.
Just didn't get caught.
Get to him. So we're gonna start listening. Y'all listen, Jimmy. Y'all see Michael Robinson there. He got stuck in Houston. He couldn't get out. He was supposed to be on the platform, but see, we still got him tonight. Mike, matter of fact, how's everything going, man? We know the weather is bad there. Can you talk to us? Let us know what's going on with you.
So it started out pretty rough, and Texas weather, it changed in 5 or 10 minutes. So I went outside early this morning, shot a video, let everybody, around the world see that in Houston, Texas, South Texas, we got a couple of inches of snow. I came in for a couple of hours, stepped back out, coach, and it was slushy. So, again, Texas weather, change at any moment. So at present, it's a lot of slush. Predicted that in the morning, it's going to be some black ice. Again, a little too risky for me to travel. So that's why I kind of tapped in, and thank you for allowing me to come in via Zoom.
Well, look at your platform guest here, man. Introduce yourself, Mike.
Okay. Michael Robinson, born in Turo, Texas. Relocated to Denton, Texas. Was a star athlete in track and football. Scholarships to go everywhere. Came from a good family. Coach, my uncle, he was always my role model. And found myself, normal things, selling dope, running with this crowd, that crowd, gangs, whatnot, which quickly led to my demise. 1993, I found myself facing first-degree murder, Denton County.
Well, hold up before we just dive right into that, Mike. I just want to introduce you to everybody on board here. That's on platform here. Y'all may have just a little bit in common.
Okay.
And why I'm telling you that because I told you I was going to do this show. Corey, tell him, because everybody here is except for, I think, I don't know what Tyrone is doing. Like I say, you were incarcerated once upon a time, right? That's what I think. So was, I think, everybody on the panel. But everybody's doing big things now, and we said we were going to do a show like this, and we're doing it. So I just wanted you to know that it came together. And I know you made the connection with Derek and I for us to connect. And Corey Cleghorn there was my first. Yeah, and I didn't know what I was getting into at that time. That actually, it was a beautiful thing, And that was the beginning for me. Not the beginning, because in my family they was going in and out the penitentiary like it was like you go to the apartment store, you know. So it was, and I'm talking about my family. I'm not talking about nobody else. So it was very familiar with that. So I never looked down on anybody, you know. And I got a former athlete here, teammate, classmate. So I'm just saying, so we put together, so, and for the audience, man, bring, you need to have your kids, you know, and your brothers, uncles, have them sitting down watching the show. It's a special edition tonight. And I see Robin checked in. Hey, Robin. Carl Pipkinson checked in. So go on and give some of your spiel, Mike. And Mike, matter of fact, his uncle introduced us. Well, Gary Robertson, one of the Terrell finest, University of Texas, All-American in track and field. And he called me about, I guess now about 3 months ago, or about 4, maybe 5. And Ella Wilson just checked in, and all he was saying to me was, Coach, I got a nephew that's just got out of prison, and he just served 30 years. And I need you to do what you do. And I'm like, okay, but do what I do, like what? He said, Coach, do what Coach Fly do. And he was in there for murder. Then I'm like, whoa, murder. So I'm trying to figure out what is it. He said, Coach, do what Coach Fly do. And I'm still like, Gary, that's his nickname. What is it you want Coach Fly? Like I say, 4 or 5 months later, here we are. And all I'm saying, God, I had to allow God to do what God does, because with me, because I don't know what I was supposed to do, and here we go. And I'll get deeper into it later, because I can honestly say, when you allow God to do what he does, because he's undefeated, I always have to refer back to Corey Cleghorn. I just have to, because that's where it all started for me with. And he'll elaborate on it later, but you can go ahead on now and say your spiel now on what happened.
Yeah. So again, like I said, 1993, found myself up in the restraints of Denton County Jail, facing first-degree murder charges. I was taken through the system, and I was found guilty. When I was found guilty under the legislature that I'm under, it was I was required to do 30 calendar years before becoming eligible for parole. So at the age of 21, I was sentenced to life. I'm an only child, and in a prison young. And like many of you guys that are on the panel that have been to prison, you know, when you enter prison, it's totally different from the streets. You enter a real grown man's world. And here I am, a youngster, street guy, you know what I'm saying? And thought I had it, thought I knew about it, thought I was tough. And went into prison and found out, nah, you know, all that's secondary, you know, welcome to the big league. And one thing I did know, Coach, I got the heart of the lion, you know. So one thing I did know is that whatever obstacle I'm faced with, it's one or two things, Coach. You know, I'm gonna run at you, I'm gonna run through you, but I ain't gonna duck. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That was my mentality. That was my mentality, and I entered prison, and like you and I talked, thank God, you know, being from North Texas, being a stand-up guy, I found myself connected with some of the guys, you know, Coach.
That's
And,
facts.
Right. Some of the greats out of Dallas, Texas, and they sat back for a moment and they watched me, and before long I was welcomed in and accepted. You know, and from then, you know, it was my character that carried me the rest of my way. Like I said, stand-up guy, zero to ignorance. You know, you come around
Zero to
my circle,
ignorance.
zero to ignorance. Yeah, don't come to me with that nonsense. I already had a life sentence, and I didn't want any more time. You know, as I stated, I was an only child. My whole sole objective was to get home to my mother in one piece. You know, and
Charles Rambo
got
checked
into
in.
prison. Yeah, got into prison, and I did, the norm, the normal things in prison. You enter, one, you're trying to solidify yourself, you're trying to find your lane, So in prison, you're quickly taught, to mind your business, to stay in your lane. And although, I knew some people and, I was a stand-up guy, you still have to do just that, mind your business and stay in your lane. And, I did just that. I kind of dipped and dabbed and, a lot of things that go on and up under the umbrella of confinement, just to make it, to survive, a lot of people that you begin with, you don't end with.
Wow.
So having said that, I found firsthand, a lot of people, they say, I love you and I'm with you. And, those are just words, when it comes time for the action, a lot of people depleted, they fell by the wayside. So, I had to do other means, to survive. And I found myself forming a brotherhood, persons like Derek, a relationship was formed. And, it's been everlasting since then. But going back, I found myself investing in myself, and this was years on down, 14, 15 years on down, kind of had a spiritual awakening, and an encounter with God. And it just changed, Coach, the whole trajectory of my forward progress.
As you say,
stated,
but God.
Oh, I got it on, Coach. Let me make certain that you see it. I got it on. But God. I don't just scream it. I live it, Coach. And I'm not perfect, but each and every day I strive, to be a better person, and just kind of, went through prison, got myself, found my lane, my character outweighed everything, good guy, stand-up guy, man of his word, and made it through prison. Came up after doing 30 calendar years, 11,291 days.
Wow.
And we'll say it again, 11,291 days. 30 years. And was seen by a commissioner.
I bet you can't say it backwards.
I bet if you give me a moment, I can. But good trick, Coach.
Yeah.
But
wait, you had time enough to learn it, but go ahead. I told you we're gonna have fun now. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, most definitely. All is welcome. And found myself before the road board, Coach, and went in and again, but God, God had his hand all on me. God had a plan for me. God still has his hand on me and a plan for me. But was seen by the board member. I can remember one of the first questions she asked me. She said, Mr. Robinson, are you ready? And
wow.
Without a second question, Coach, my immediate response was, ma'am, I've been waiting on this moment all my life.
Well, allow me to interject again. I was in Houston for my grandson's funeral. Mm-hmm. So I decided to, while I was there this particular day, I said, I'm going to call, because I know he was in Houston. Mm-hmm. So I said, I'm going to call, Mike Robinson, and I'm going to call him, find out maybe how far, where about in Houston. I called, and the thing about it, we wasn't even 15 minutes away from each other.
Correct.
So I knew that was ordered. And I called him, and I told him where I was. He told me, East Coast, we're about 12. He said, we're anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes away from one another. I think he got there in 8 minutes.
Right.
And that was the first time physically meeting him. I see my boy Headache done checked in, my mom done checked in, Bobby Castleberry done checked in, Greg Harris done checked in from Maryland, Prince Frederick, Maryland. And then he pulls up in a Benz, a new Benz. I'm like, wait a minute, man, this cat just got out of prison. What? Okay, I'm gonna leave that. That's another story, but that's what he pulled up in. Yeah, yes, he did. I'm trying to figure what program he was in. But anyway, yeah. So just to get y'all up to speed, man, and that was our first time meeting, man, in a situation such as, and we hadn't missed a beat, man, and he's been the same guy, man. Then he introduced me to a Headache. Man, you know what? You would have been just fine on this show, Headache. Legendary. That's out forever, man. And man, Headache, Yes, but I'm gonna need you to chime in too, man, for sure, cause he has a story to tell. And then he introduced me to David, and I just enjoyed talking to this young man. Well, he's an old youngster now, though. Yeah, old youngster. So, but Mike, we gonna hold on to your thought, cause I wanna get these guys started too. Corey, talk to us, man, cause I know you gonna have to go. Boy, wait, Clarence Porter. Listen, my guy Clarence Porter and checked in. He's an artist up in California. Y'all got he draws everybody, man, from historical people to everybody. We have connected. Y'all got to Google him.
Yeah.
He can draw us as you look right now.
You need to do that now then.
No, he can do that. He's that talented, man, and we're connecting because we need to get him here. He's that kind of artist, man.
Absolutely.
But go ahead. Boy, Lonnie Ballardon checked in on our classmate. Go ahead, Corey.
So I tell people when we talk to kids all the time, I won the dope dealer lottery because
Wow.
I got busted at the right time. I was fortunate and blessed to get busted on the phone with my backup supplier at a time when I was only selling weed, and they had been watching my backup supplier for a long time. So whenever when I got busted, and they told me that I didn't know anybody else on my case except for my one backup supplier, and there was a bunch of other people that I had never even met in life, I really didn't know what was going on. But the reason I say I was blessed because there was times before that where I dabbled with cocaine for a short period of time and all this, and then they had a drug shortage come into Dallas, and I strictly got known for selling pounds of marijuana. And the good and bad thing was 750 pounds will come in a week in a truck, and I'd have those gone in 3 days. And then if people call me after those 3 days, before the next week would come, I'd have to have something. So there was somebody else I'll go get 200 or 300 from, and that's who I got busted with.
Wow.
And on the phone, but the people that I knew on the phone, all I could do was plead guilty or else come up across something more than marijuana charges. So whenever I knew none of my suppliers got busted, none of my customers got busted, and everybody who was selling keys was buying
by yourself.
big pounds of weed from me, I just pled guilty. They charged me with 800 pounds, but had caught me with nothing. So had a good lawyer at the time, but I did 57 months fed for weed. And talking to the youth these days, which you started my career while I was locked up, bringing me out to talk at Kimball.
Correct.
Me and another inmate that was locked up about, because I grew up in Oak Cliff my whole life, so to be able to come back and for them to, whatever your reputation was, they knew I wasn't going to run off because I still had about 1.5 years left on my sentence.
Yes.
So, but that was the first time that I really ever, you said it was your first time working with anybody locked up. It was my first time ever talking to youth or any kind of mentoring was that time. Because prior to that, when I was out, I was an athlete, and then I became a drug dealer.
Yeah, because what happened when I would come down, you was in Seagoville at that time.
Yep.
So, and at that time, I was taking the students around to different facilities, and it just, you spoke so well, and it was just a good deal because they were making the kids, when we were coming to the prison, they had to go through the whole, it wasn't like you just walked in and, no, they had to go just like they were being locked up. And that's what it was. And then we bonded, you and I.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see Maxie Johnson checked in.
As soon as I got out, I came straight to you.
Fact.
I said, hey, what can we do out here, Coach?
Man,
because
he
one
did
thing
that.
about me is that I knew that if I got caught on the phone, and that was enough on the phone, because I didn't say marijuana, I didn't say weed, I didn't say anything. I said, I don't want it, F it. It's taking too long. I don't want it. It's probably brown anyway. And just that, and then people being caught up on the same thing, I had to plead to 800 pounds of weed, or else be able to go to trial and then have people come in and say, he sold coke with me back in the day. He did, you know.
Yeah.
So I, you know, sitting down and doing that. But I say I won the drug dealer lottery because what if my phone would have been tapped when it was cracked?
Ooh.
I'd still be, you know,
Yes.
I've been out 30 years, but I could still be gone from that. You know what I'm saying? What if, you know, everything that went on, I could have caught at any given time on the phone. And like young people they don't even think that like things like that can happen, but you know, it's that serious.
And they
So,
don't think it can
yeah.
happen. It can happen. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
it
was
happens
asking
all the
me
time. Yeah.
when they was telling me that, okay, because I said, well, I would like for them to come over to, you know, speak to the kids at Kimball. And then they were saying, well, Coach, do you think you can trust him? I said, yeah. They said, and then they had me filling out so many different forms.
Mm-hmm.
Said, now you gonna be accountable. I said, well, I don't want to be accountable for that, you know. And then they said, no, you. And then I said, I don't want to be. And they were like,
Yeah.
well, no. And I said, well, then I'm signing it. I said, wait a minute, what am I signing? Then they said, now if he doesn't, and if he, then we gonna come get you for this. I said, that'll be him leaving. And they,
But
then
yeah,
I'm like,
that's the one thing I can tell you.
wow.
If anybody can't make bail, because you can't make bail from the feds, Coach Fly can come get you out at least for a little bit. Had some decent food that day.
Hey man, yeah. So and it was just then I started getting caught. Forget the other guy.
I was down there, Headache. We crossed the path. I don't know if it was Halfway House or Seagoville or where, but me and Headache was in the same place at the same time for a little bit too. So Headache, a legend. You got to get him on the phone.
Oh yeah.
On
and,
this show, we dropped the ball with that one.
And then it's three other guys called the guy that was warning. He said, "Listen, Coach, you had gotten out and you was starting your I think
Record
it was
label?
Clout Record then.
It was
Powerhouse
Powerhouse Records back then,
And then you
yeah.
had the studio over for Ledbetter.
Yeah.
Then he said, "Well, Coach, we then they had when we come over to the one over off of the freeway.
Right. Over there off 35 and
35.
Empire.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't like I had a
never-
program. So I'm like, well, we got three other inmates that we think will be good for your program. I say I don't have an inmate program. They said, well, Coach, these are really good guys. Their background. And I'm saying, I don't have an inmate program. They say, Coach, take a chance on him. And I'm thinking, I just took one on Corey, and he did great. I'm sweating because I done saw the paperwork I signed.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying? I'm like Corey. And then I go up to the studio where they were recording, and I won't call names, but I see some of the folks, and I'm like, oh, hell. Who up in here? I'm like, oh, Corey got to do right. You can go through that at 19 o'clock in the morning, whatever time y'all want that to be.
But let me tell you something, Coach. Even though I sold tons of weed, I've never smoked weed. I probably had 5 drinks in my life. I knew I was the white dude growing up in Oak Cliff that everybody thought had a lot of money and was going to try to jack me. So I never, you know, that's one thing I can say. I never had my guards down by drugs, or I probably wouldn't be here. Like, I would have been killed. I would have been, you know,
Yeah.
had a lot to do with it, because I know just that I couldn't have handled that. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And then even fast forward to now, and I'll pass it on through, like, you coming up with a program, because you're one of the first, you know, few people that really believe in redemption. You knew that, you know, we took our stories and changed,
Yes.
but now to this day, to be able to have things like Train does and the things that we do with like OGU, using OGs and
Yes.
influencers to stop violence, and, you know, making a cosign for people on this side to be able to do work with youth and communities, like that stuff wasn't happening back
wasn't
then. So I gotta
correct.
take my
Say, man.
my hair off to you for
Wow.
for stepping out there and inspiring me to know that it could happen. So I just want to say,
Well,
you know, thank you for
thank
that.
you, man.
Yeah.
I see Charles Thibodeau done checked in. Boy, Gary Robson done checked in. Boy, Mike Yonker done checked in. But see, I remember when y'all standing up there for what's that, Luke 12 there, behind we went to your house, man, and
Yeah.
we just bonded, man, and it's been
Yeah.
that way forever, man. And so it's a lot of things that we couldn't even get it all out tonight anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Train, you give your story, man. Sean Jefferson checked in.
Man,
We go so far back here. Wow.
well, for me, man, it was tragedy. What took me to prison, really. I was leaving college. You know, I had got a scholarship to Iowa.
Now, bag on up first and next. Come on back. You was a good student. Come on back up. Let's go back up to Lincoln High School.
I mean, in Lincoln High School, you know, I was a good athlete. You know what I mean? I think my senior year, I probably had like 80-something tackles, like 17 sacks. And it was crazy because back then we didn't really pay attention to stats. We didn't really know what that meant.
Well, he's missing what I wanted to do. I'm gonna tell y'all something. As a student, because I was coaching up at Lincoln, you never know what some kids are going through. And that's what I'm saying this for a reason. I didn't find out till later on when he got in trouble that when kids be clinging to you, that's why I always say to kids, you got to let them talk instead of telling them all the time, be quiet, shut up.
Yeah.
You need them to talk. You may be telling them right, but you still need them to talk so you know where they are. Cause if it may just be hungry. You got what I'm saying? See, all kids not bad, and every mistake doesn't mean failure either. But you need them to talk, and you never know what's going on in their household.
Yeah.
And he was a kid that you didn't know what was going on in his household.
Yeah, I stayed in a drug house.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, I was raised up around it pretty much my whole life. I saw a Christian family on one side, an entire family that was drug related. So me being about like 15 years old, me and my mother got into it, so she put me out. By this time, you know, I'm violent. You know, that's just who I was. So I wound up having to go to my grandmother's house in Dixon. I get into it with my younger uncle because I was just at a point where wasn't nobody gonna put their hands on me. So she couldn't deal with me. So she took me to my other grandmother. My other grandmother was notoriously known for selling drugs. So my junior, my senior year, I was with my grandmother's house, and I was living in a drug house, and I was the type of kid that wouldn't let. They may know where I'm going, but they don't know what's going on, or I wouldn't let too many people by because me walking home, I don't know if the house is gonna be busted or what. You know what I mean? When you stand there, you don't know if something gonna happen while you're there. You know what I mean? Then, so I used to be at school like football was my release. You know, I wanted to be good because I needed an escape route. You know what I mean? I never wanted what I saw because I saw a lot. I saw the going to jail. I saw the people getting shot. I saw people look pretty, man, and then turn to skeletons. I watched this my whole life. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just something about, you know, take the anger somewhere else. I was a kid that was highly talented, but because I've been through so much what I went through, I wasn't the type of kid to let people just tell me anything or bully me around. So when some coaches, you know, want to use tactics, I was hip to tactics. So I knew how to stand up for myself. But me standing up for myself, you know, put me in particular situations, you know, with playing football. And
Well, they thought he was he was too headstrong for certain coaches because they felt he wasn't coachable, which he was. But see, when you, as an individual, and you just want to just tell me to do something without a purpose, doesn't always work, y'all.
mm-hmm.
So, and then they just want to manhandle you because, watch this, because they're a man, right? And I was that guy, that coach that, nah, coach, nah. You know what I'm saying? Then they want to say, oh, you got the kids acting like you. Well, I never been an actor. I always been a performer. I never been an actor. And then, that's a whole nother story. Then here they go. Now the coach is going to get, well, so then they catering to me, but I'm going to stand up for them because I was that coach when you throw their letters in the trash can, I take it out the trash can. And I put it back on the board. Now, go by the envelope. So don't worry about the envelope. You want what's inside of it. So now, see, because I understand that neighborhood because I'm raised up in it. And I know if this kid get this good news, it's going to be his opportunity to have a fresh start somewhere. But you want to belittle him, that's kids like that. And, yeah.
Yeah, so it was, for me, it was like,
Justin Thompson checked
it
in.
was like
Thomas
get up out
Spencer
of there.
checked in.
So I wind up, well, eventually, I was recruited by Miami. Miami wound up going on athletic probation. So that took away the school. that
Justin
was
Thompson, I
actually
wasn't no
gonna go to.
bad actor.
So, so I wound up going to Iowa Wesleyan, a smaller school, because I turned down a scholarship to Northeastern, which was in Louisiana. And back then they say something about Louisiana, you don't go. You know what I mean? You hear all these spook tales and stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go where everybody else going.
Yeah.
So, but me going there, I wound up having to hitchhike to get there. So my life was always about, overcoming the obstacle. And I was built to be able to be that way until I came back for winter break and high school sweetheart, still together, and she wound up getting pregnant. So when she wound up getting pregnant, I left school, come back, and I lose my son. When I lose my son, at that point, all that didn't make sense no more.
I was, Justin.
And it was like, yeah, so it was just like, I done did all this, I done did all this good, I done overcome all this. But God, you can't be no God if you did this. And my belief stopped right there. And it's amazing because it went from living in the highlight to living in the low light. But doing it successfully, quickly. Because it was like second nature, not even knowing. Because I seen it my whole life. So it wasn't even a year of starting to sell drugs that I found myself buying a key. And it wasn't even 3 months after that found myself in prison. Luckily, I wasn't caught with a lot, on me or whatever like that. So I wound up taking 2 2-year sentences. I do that time, and like I told Coach before, it really wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me. I come home, I'm still young, football over with. I still ain't got my kid. Ain't nothing really changed. People still in the same places, in the same spaces, doing the same thing. And a backwards mindset,
Trey
man.
Gilbert checked in.
You don't,
Manning checked in.
you don't look at going forward. You don't look at, well, I can go back to college. You don't look at, well, I can just get a regular job. You know what I mean? You look at what you know now. So I tried to straddle the fence. Get a CDL license and everything. Drove 18-wheelers, drove for the trash company, and that broke me. I'm on a trash truck. I ain't no trash man. So I took that money and said, fuck it. I'm finna go back and do what I did. So I did that for almost another 8 years. One of the first people in Dallas, black people in Dallas that started selling methamphetamine. And got to selling methamphetamine, stopped selling cocaine and everything. And wound up getting married. Wasn't married long, but married long, you know what I mean? And, wound up being over right next door to my mother's house and fooling with this female, called myself being slick. And I said, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this house. I'm gonna take this house from this dude. Everything, you know what I mean? Which is what I did. Took the house, took the chick, took the kids, you know, and she was selling cocaine. And I was selling meth. And I'm really up and down the freeway. And she just so happily get hit. And it was at a time the where I come over, because I was always in the dogs and stuff, breeding dogs. In the backyard, she come to the back, half naked, saying, man, the police out here. I'm like, shit, so, because I'm not thinking, you know what I mean, nothing, because I don't deal with cocaine or nothing, and it's on a day that ain't nothing supposed to be going on. So they hit her, you know, they get me, they didn't have nothing on me. The same guy that arrested me when I was 19, never forget his name, Officer Kurt Fitzpatrick, was there when they picked her up, and he saw me. And we just stared at each other. He said, man, get that guy ID. They ran my name or whatever like that. They took us down, you know, to the police station because they couldn't take me to jail because they really didn't have nothing on me. I can hear them in the next room badgering her. Next thing you know, they come out, take me to jail. She signed some affidavit saying that I sold drugs, you know, inside of the house. And I got a 5-year sentence. You know, so that 5-year sentence, me not knowing and me not looking at the fact that I literally went to jail the first time because of what I felt I lost. I go the second time, you know what I mean, looking at now what I hurt because I had 3 other children now. But those kids couldn't fill a void because I was still trapped, you know what I mean, in my own mind. And me doing 5 years, I have one kid
Pastor,
that
the real
almost
term
drowned.
checked in.
I have another kid that get hit by a car. And the whole time I'm saying, man, I'm their protector. I ain't nowhere to protect them. I'm sitting up here in jail protecting, I don't mean no harm, white boys extorting. But I can't even protect my own children. You know what I mean? And that's when the light just went out for me, and it was like a high moment. You know, like, what you doing? You don't let anger take you away from who you was. You know, and after doing a little bit over 2.5 years on that 5-year sentence, and me coming home, I was looking forward to seeing my children, but my children weren't looking forward to seeing me. And my daughter had told her mother, I don't know if I should love my father because he may leave me again. And I had to then go into the atoning of regaining not just my life back, but my relationship back with what, you know, what was meant for me to protect and what I was looking to come home to. And, you know, all praise be to God that all those relationships are solid relationships. You know,
Hey, Mike, we haven't forgot you, man.
and now at a point to where I fell off, I see my children succeeding. But it's also because I took the responsibility on becoming a greater example. You know, it's being able to listen to something,
Terrence Johnson and checked in.
feel broken from where you felt broken from, and to do the healing of that, you know what I mean? And to being able to say, you know, not just say I apologize or I'm sorry, but
Hey,
mean
but
it
you know-
because I had to first mean it to myself. And then, you know, I just live a life now and supporting those same individuals in those same
You're doing a
spaces
beautiful thing now, too.
because of the same thing. You know, I understand. So it's just like I tell people all the time, man, put me in the black alley. You know, because I know the black alley. I can see in it. So I can at least support, navigate someone out of it.
Can I say this, man? One thing about Train, what he's doing, he's on the road that he's on now is so beautiful, man. And I just want y'all to know, for whatever the reason, he sought me out when he came home.
Yeah.
And we never missed a beat to this day, this night.
I mean, I want to thank you too, Coach, because I probably wouldn't have never came up or learned with Train probably wouldn't have never came if you didn't give me an opportunity to work with somebody that was like a celebrity to me, and being able to see him at a low and to support,
I know where you're going with this.
cherish him, you know what I mean, when he actually needed to be cherished and he needed to be supported, you know, when he wasn't actually getting those things.
MB.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for me having the opportunity to work with him, you know, and pour into him, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
I tell you who he's talking. He's talking about Miriam Barber. I tell you. Yeah, but I was trained, and I told Trey, I said, I want somebody I want you to mentor, you know, when they was back. Yeah, and he did just that. But, you know, like I said, and it's been many more of them, but he's just a coach. I came with somebody I know that was real to me. I'm talking about, he's a grown man then now, you know, and he's still been like that to the day. Ty, Pastor, Bishop, you got some titles now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm Tyrone Langford. Mine wasn't like y'all's.
Yeah.
I went
get
to-
started. This is gonna be interesting. I think they might need to come together because it was so interesting, y'all. I got to set them up, these two, because there was a story being told, and I was listening to it. Derek, if you don't mind, y'all switch, because they got to go together. Because I had no clue to know that they knew one another. So, and I'm gonna set it up for them to finish. So he was telling me about a situation that happened. And I'm gonna let them tell the story. And I said, oh, wow, really? Then talking to him one time, he was telling me what had happened. I'm like, yeah. So I held a show. I was out there on Mockingbird then. So I bring both of them on the show, not knowing they know one another. And the incident was with both of them. And I'm like, no way. So now it's y'all time to talk. Y'all got it. Go ahead.
Again, I went to jail for 2 weeks.
Okay. He said his was different.
That was it for me. And go back when I was on Mockingbird. That's the first time me and you saw each other. We were speaking, and man, I love your testimony, and it did something. It moved me because what's funny, we all lived in the same neighborhood area. And it was funny because people used to make fun of me. I stayed right behind Madison. And they used to say, why you didn't go to Madison? I wanted to go to Lincoln. My mom made me go to Spruce. Then I wound up went to Samuel. So, you know, but what's funny, me and Leonard
Now, what did y'all call him?
Jr.
Junior. Yeah.
Me and Junior worked at a liquor store on Irvay and Grand. And while we was working at the liquor store, we was rolling. I was a stalker. I didn't know, I was green to dope at first. And I was so green that they would give me dope and told me to hold the dope. I did it. They would put it in a bag and they told me, am I lying? They tell me to keep it. I took it home. I would put it in, my dad had passed, so I would put it in my dad's truck so nobody wouldn't mess with it.
So you transporting?
Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. And so
Joe Christopher done checked in.
So we wind up, we working, and I'm gonna get to where we got busted. It was a night that before we got busted, we was with our boss. He was, and Junior was cooking dope. And
Wait, y'all working at the liquor store though?
yeah, but we cooking dope. They were cooking dope. They were rocking it up, and
Stalker.
they went. Junior went to the store because they was I ran out of some stuff that they needed. And I went to tell the man about a dream that I had. And I told him, I said, say, man, I had this strange dream. He said, what's your dream? I said, man, I had a dream that we got busted.
Wow.
And he say, what happened? I said, what's crazy? I say, an ice cream truck pulled up in front of the store.
It was a fish truck.
But it wound up was a fish truck.
But he's talking about his dream, Miles.
Oh my!
But I'm telling him, it was an ice cream truck, and the laws got out of the ice cream truck. And so as I'm telling him everything, word for word, what they said, walking in. And he come back. And he said, man, y'all know I had a dream. And he went to tell about the fish truck. The same thing, the laws getting out of it. The same word for word. The man told us. He said, whatever y'all do, he stopped. He stopped shop right then. He said, we're not doing nothing. He said, if y'all having dreams, we don't need to do nothing. Well,
Operation Shut It Down.
Operation Shut It Down. I don't know. We was trying to get rid of, it was what, 10 keys we were trying to sell at the time?
Keys.
11 keys. Yeah. And we were trying to get rid of it.
Cool. What do you think about these cats?
So I'm
Glad I didn't get caught at that time. I'd be making this call from prison.
So we talking about trying to get rid of it. And the crazy thing, we had an undercover cop that
wanted those keys.
That wanted the keys. And he would only deal with me. And I didn't know nothing about making no deals. They sent me out there. They said, go check and see if he got the money. Dude opened up trunk of his car. There was no money. Then I walk in there and said, man, this man ain't got no money. Yeah. But the dude, here go the crazy thing. I didn't see it then. But what I see now, God was working something out where the man was trying to get me to walk away then. And I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because the loyalty I had for friends, I stayed with my friends. And the man was trying to give me an opportunity.
To leave.
And I went back in, I told him, even though we got set up, because we had somebody on the inside set us up. And what was funny, we had, me and a couple of buddies of mine, we used to have a habit when we walked in the store, we always say, freeze. And even when somebody was buying something, we holler, freeze, scare the mess out of everybody. So when the laws come in there, they holler, freeze. I kept walking.
Hill and checked in.
And I walked in there with Junior. Junior was sitting in the back hand. He looked in the camera. He said, oh, man, these the laws. Man, ain't the laws. There's partners in them coming in. He said, no, these laws. So when I look at the camera, I'm not thinking. Still young and dumb. I'm fresh out of high school.
Oh, wow.
And the law come to kick the door.
No, when you gonna let him take over?
Okay.
He's finna get good.
Okay.
Mike, you ready for this, Mike Robinson?
As what he said, I was in the back, and Tyrone came up, and he came through the doors, and I just happened to look at the camera, and as he was walking, I seen some guys, 4 or 5 guys, masked up, M16s, 9mm, coming in the door, and T was on his way to the back. So,
but you looking at him on camera?
I'm looking at this on camera, and I see these people come in there. I said, "Oh man!" So, all this dope in front of me. It was so much. I know y'all done saw what Scarface, where he had all that in front of him. All this in front of me, but it was rocks. It was bricks. I mean, out of my mind, I'm just saying, you know, they come back here, I'm throwing it in the air. So when T came in there, T got behind the door, closed the door and got behind the door. Man, that's him. So, but it's funny now. But then it was very tragic. I mean, I'm talking about, I could see myself as a little kid, you know, growing up because of what I'm seeing and the thoughts in my mind, you know, am I supposed to be here? You know, so as they came in, I just threw the dope in the air.
So, whoa.
And-
So you threw the dope up in the air.
Yeah.
So where's the dope go? Okay, what's that gonna do?
I thought it was gonna disappear, but this is the thing. This is the thing. I wasn't thinking that it was gonna come back and hit the table.
So you just threw it up in the air.
I just threw it up in the air, and it came and boom.
So when it came down, then what?
That's when the authorities came in. They slid the door back, and they had
Miles,
What?
I'm not gonna let you just walk over that.
what?
Throwing it up in the air. How high did you throw it?
I don't know, man.
So it's just gonna
It was-
disappear?
I mean, I throwed it up there like it was supposed to just, you know,
It was gonna go up there and
1, 2,
freeze?
3, red light, you know, freeze. But hey, it wasn't nothing like that. It came back down.
And my dumb butt, I looked at it go up and watched it come down. And like he was saying, I was up on the door, and it wasn't funny then, but it's funny now.
Yes, it is.
I'm like I said, fresh out of high school, had just won like 4th place in powerlifting as one of the strongest dudes in the state of Texas.
Big boy. He was big back then.
So I got the dough. The law trying to kick the dough in, couldn't even budge the dough. They had to say, please open the door. I looked at him. He say, man, go on and open the door.
Let it open it.
Let him in. I unlocked the door. They opened the door. Then the dude put the shotgun. I'm still trying to figure out where. And I'm serious. The cop thinking I'm crazy because I'm still looking up because I'm like, what is he doing? What was he doing? And I'm thinking like, if Poe been somebody up there gonna grab me or
I
something.
mean, when the best move been to put it this way?
No, they still would have got it. They still would have found it. But I had my hands up. Before he even opened up the door, my hands was already up.
Smart move. He
You
probably
know.
had them things in their hand, them him.
Hey.
16s.
And as soon as he got in the door, I felt that red beam hit me right here. Homeboy was gonna blow my brains out. I know he was gonna blow my brains out, but my hands was in the air. And he had
Ronald
2
Ridge done
other
checked in.
cops behind him.
The ball
know.
done checked in.
So anybody else back here, I said, yeah, he behind the door. Slam the door. So, hey,
Snitch.
Probably saved your life by snitching
that's
though.
what I'm talking about. He would have blasted him. But anyway, they got us out. We all laid on the floor, handcuffed us.
You landing in the dope? You were laying in it? Or
No. He brought us up front,
Oh, okay.
laid us down, handcuffed us, and I don't know what T was, but
So bro, I done checked in. Justin, why you laughing at him, man? He laughing at you.
just walking past, there's a sergeant walking past me, this close in my face. Looked like he was about to kick me in my face. I had to stop. I say, officer, could you please tell this man before he kicked me in my face to stop walking past me like that? You know, and it was another officer said, which one of you guys named Leonard? Junior. And I said, I am. He said, get him to pick you up and let you look outside the door. And I saw my mother,
Wow.
my mother's face in that window.
But it was really your mother out there.
That was my mother.
Yeah.
He said, look at your mother, see how broken she is to see her son in this kind of predicament. You see, she said, how do you feel? Oh man, I couldn't say nothing but just my tears was rolling down my eyes, man, you know. But, you know, I looked at it like this. Out of all that time that I was doing what I was doing, I got warned 3 times. And that was the 3rd time. You know, the scriptures say warning come before destruction. And out of that time, that the first time I got warned, my mother said something to me. She said, baby, you're doing something, and I know you're doing something. I mean, ain't doing nothing. Yes, you are. You doing something. She said, if I wouldn't tell you what I'm about to tell you, the Lord is going to punish me. So I'm telling you now, you're doing something, you need to stop. You buying me all these beautiful things I ain't never had before. And I said, you my mama, I love you like that. She said, yeah, I understand that. She said, but I don't want it. I don't want it. So from there, and then I almost got busted. I'm coming down Grand. I'm driving, you know, and I'm at a light. I got 2 keys in the back of the trunk of the car, and I'm smoking that ooh-wee. I mean, it's just, it just took me. But anyway, I'm at the light. The light changes.
It's what it's supposed to do.
I understand. But what I'm telling you, the light was changing too fast. Every time I hit my feet on the accelerator, I have to stop again because the light is changing on me. That was back then, that was in the 80s when the going down Grand when it's late, the lights be changing on you like that. So,
Wait a minute. So you telling me you sitting there smoking at the light?
no, I hit it a couple of times and I put
How
it
you
down.
know you hit a couple of times you
I
smoked?
know what I did. I hit it a couple of times. Okay.
How many times the light changed then?
I don't know how many times the light changed, but I'm looking at the light and I didn't hit it. You follow what I'm saying? I didn't hit it.
I
I'm looking
wasn't
at the light.
following you. I'm just
It's not. I'm looking down and I'm hitting it, and the light done changed 4 or 5 times. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the light changed on me as I'm sitting up there. Man, what is this light doing? By that time, a cop, motorcycle cop, see the lights. I said, oh man, I know I'm finna go.
Was it smoke in the car?
It was full of smoke in there, man. Cheech and Chong, man. So, officer, I let it down. I know that smoke went all in his nostrils and all in his eyes.
Did you have any dope in the car?
Yeah, he had a bag right here sitting on the console.
It's out.
Yeah, and
And 2 keys in the trunk.
2 keys in the trunk.
He already rode with 2 keys.
Yeah, so, you know, like you said,
You ready to go to jail?
I'm green. I'm green just like he is, but I'm thinking I'm the man. You know,
Can't be tough.
I always had a pocket full of money. But that's another story. But anyway, man, the cop told me, he said, sir, did you see the light change? I said, yes, sir, I saw it change. I said, but it kept changing on me. He said, you know it's late. I said, yes, sir, I know it's late.
You really high.
I was tore up. And so
Train. The light keep changing.
the
Ain't
light
what they
kept
do.
changing, man. So from there, he said, okay, I tell you what. You have a good night, man.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. That was the second warning. That was the second warning.
You think
I
you-
should have just quit then. But come back to the port where them guys jumped out the fish trailer. That was the 3rd time right there. That second time, the first time when my mom told me I was supposed to stop then.
She didn't want the stuff,
Yeah.
the gifts.
But this is the thing on that part. I went to
Well, who put you down with the drugs, man?
the owner of the shop.
Liquor store?
Yeah. Because he
Wow.
trusted me with a lot of money. I had sacks.
So you and Ty went
Shopping
from
bag.
stocking and working in the store?
No, I was on the register. I wasn't on the. I was just cleaning up, but he put me on the register to tell me. He said somebody's stealing. He said I want you to learn how to use this register. Hey, I got real good on the register, and money was smoothing out. You know, every Friday, you know, the
He
register.
was grooming y'all then.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. And then he said, you know something, man? He said, if anything happened, man, this be your first time. I mean, it ain't no problem, man, you know. So he done put that in my head, you know.
Mine's too.
Yeah, you said he set him up.
Yeah,
He was grooming.
yeah, he done put that in my head, you know. So from there, we, like I said, we handcuffed and everything. They take us to the substation, the City of Dallas substation on Hall. When they first built that place, I was in there. I had a little bag of weed stuck in my sock, and they had those what do you call it? It wasn't handcuffs. It was those
tie.
Zip tie.
yeah.
You
And
know, I know Rick, like you know what you talking about. Oh, Rick,
I-
you to me.
I squares out of that and got it and put it in the door. You know when somebody pulled the door open and the knob keep hitting the door and it leaves a hole right there? I stuck it in there.
So you wouldn't have that on you.
Yeah. So the police officer called me out, told me, he said, hey, man, I tell you what I do. He said, let me talk to you a minute. He took me back there in the back. He said, I want you to work for me. I said, work for
Ruby
you?
Walker done checked in. Brian Thompson checked
He
in.
said, yeah, I want you to work for me. I said, now, how's I'm going to do that? He said, I want you to be my eyes on the street. And I just bust out laughing on him. He said, oh, okay, so you think this is a joke. I said, okay, so I'm going to be back on the streets after those people saw me get busted
They know you snitching.
and come back on the streets and it's like, why'd you out, man? They was going to kill me, man.
Yeah.
You know? So when I bust out laughing at him, he said, he locked me back up. Make a long story short, I went to prison. And
Say that story. Save it till we come back.
okay.
Well, it's crazy how similar a lot of our stories are, especially mine. It's a little bit of everybody's story inside of mine. I'm from South Dallas too. I actually grew up on Waldron Street. Went to Charles Rice. And moved to Pleasant Grove at in 5th grade. So I got to high school. I was a star athlete growing up through school. I was talented and gifted. I was in academy school at O.W. Holmes and so many other different things. So I get to high school, star quarterback, star point guard. And so I had a lot of abandonment issues because my parents weren't always there for me. And so like you say, I ain't gonna get the best of you.
Yeah.
When you can't deal with it, you young, you haven't been taught the means in order to deal with your emotions in a positive way. You lash out a negative way. So being a star quarterback and being a star point guard, you feel like you the heart of the team. But come to find out, sometimes your talent, your character will take you out of places that your talent got you into.
Mm-hmm.
So my senior year in high school, I got kicked off the football team and the basketball team.
Wow.
Had letters from all different colleges. Could have went to so many different places, full rides. And so at that point, I started hanging out with our so-called homeboys, doing different things. And push come to shove, I ended up being in a situation with my homeboys. They got into it with some dudes from another neighborhood. And I walk up on it. I'm like, bro, y'all tripping. Y'all arguing with dudes with guns. Y'all ain't got no guns. So I tell her, hey, man, let's go somewhere else or such. Those same dudes end up pulling up later. And they roll up on me. I react first. One of them end up getting hit, go up on his arm and go straight into his heart. He later died. So I end up catching a 25-year sentence for murder. I did 17 years on it. But the same dudes that I was telling, hey man, let's go somewhere else, was the same dudes that got on the stand and testified against me.
Wow.
The same dudes that told the police where I was for them to come get me. And so the same dudes that never, not one of them, only one of them sent me $15 the whole 17 years. And so if I look back on the situation, if I was to tell the young boys, because I just got a phone call earlier about one of my little cousins who in the situation, it ain't worth it now. Y'all out here carrying these sticks and trying to live up to these reputations.
Yeah.
And it's going to take you down a path that you're not ready for. You know, we look at it, we hear about the drill music. We see the rappers getting killed. We see all this stuff that's going on. And at the end of the day, we think it won't happen to us. We think we're an isolated situation.
And what you're saying is no commercials in this. This is for real.
Yeah, this real life here.
Right.
Yeah.
And, bro, it don't matter if you doing a 10, 20, 30 years or if you, that's lucky. Because some people don't get that lucky to make it to prison. Some people die before they even get that road.
That's right.
And just like, bro, right here, I had 3 warnings.
Wow.
My auntie told me the night that I left, hey, Derek, if you go out tonight, I feel like something bad gonna happen. Shoot, I'm 19 years old. I ain't trying to hear that. I was laid up with some chick. Hey, Derek, don't go nowhere. Stay home with me tonight. Man, I'm finna go kick it with my partners.
That same exact night.
That same exact night. Exactly a week before that, I was in the shootout. A bullet went straight by my ear so close I could feel the wind. And now one of them warnings was enough for me to realize, as smart as I was, talented and gifted and all these different things, I didn't recognize the signs.
Says you can be smart and not be intelligent.
And so then I get to prison.
It makes sense when you can say you can be smart but not intelligent. But smart and intelligent don't have nothing to do when you're broke.
Make ignorant decisions.
Ignorant decisions, you know what I mean, are really pleasure-seeking decisions because of what you lack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we feel knowledgeable thinking is smart and intelligent.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's out the window when you're broken.
But see, you can get people will glamorize being smart, but you need to ask them whatever they learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Can I say this? Fly, when me and you was talking earlier, I was dumb while I was in the streets. But when I got to prison, I got smarter. That's when everything came back to life. I knew who I was.
Man, say that again though.
I was dumb in the streets. But when I went to prison, I got smarter. And everything came back to me. Myself, I knew who I was when I didn't know who I was when I was out there in the street. Wow. I thought I was invincible.
Does that make sense to y'all?
But now, see, what he's saying is when he was out in the streets, there were so many distractions. He was influenced by the drugs. It was a lot of things that took him away from who he really was. But once he got
entertained by so much.
But then when he was in prison, all those things were stripped away from him.
Yeah.
So his vision was clear. It wasn't that he got smarter.
Right.
Just all the distractions and all the things that was taking him away from who he really was was stripped away from him.
Yeah.
And so the reality hit him once all those things were stripped away from him.
Exactly.
You know another thing when you look at it too, one of the things is, it's like now, when you look in the mirror, you really look at yourself.
Yeah.
When we used to look in the mirror, we didn't see us.
We saw a facade.
We saw a facade.
Yeah.
Because the guy that we work for, he made a statement. He say, this right here And he's showing us. We sitting there looking at 250,000 that me and him sold less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Made 250,000. We looking at this money. We counting this money. We sitting there looking at this money. He said, man, this is the way a black man. This is the easy way a black man can get rich. Now, you got a kid just turned 18, and I'm looking. I ain't never seen this type of money before, and I'm looking at it, and the first thing I said, man, black man can get rich like this. But my dream was to go to the NFL. But when I looked at this, dream gone.
Yeah.
But I still, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see me. I saw
So other
something
things.
else.
Yeah.
But again, and I'm going to let him go back, what we all wind up had to see, when he was angry, he couldn't see him. He was mad at God, but he still couldn't even see God because he was mad. And see, when we mad, and when Michael Jackson said it best, look at the man in the mirror. Because at the end of the day, now we can take count of what we did.
Yeah.
Because now we can see us when we couldn't see us. I like the way he put it, because he just, like he say,
You were stripped.
once we got stripped, then the cover came off the mirror.
You have nothing else to lean on.
Now when I
Yeah.
look at myself, I can't blame nobody else
But
Right.
yourself.
but me.
And you know, it's
Go
just
ahead, Ken.
crazy because none of that mattered to me. Didn't matter to me. It didn't matter to me until I felt my heart again.
Till you felt your heart again.
And I didn't feel my heart until I saw my kids. Yeah, I had a made up mind, but I had a made up mind the first time he came back and did the same
Yeah.
thing.
You did the same thing.
Because I was still coming back to the same place. But it didn't make
Doc Hawkins and checked in.
it didn't make a difference until I actually felt my heartbeat again.
Go ahead, Derek. We're gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And then just bringing it to prison, the shift, and we talk about seeing ourselves, but we also have to see the results of our actions. So I got to prison. I started taking courses. I was exposed to the course called Bridges to Life, where victims of crime, people who have been raped, people who have been, their family has been murdered, people who have been robbed, they come into the prison.
So are you able to, like you say you took a life, are you able to interact with his people? Or?
No,
Okay,
you can't interact with victims' family.
Okay.
That's attached to your case. And so seeing these individuals who been raped, these people being robbed, these folks and have people close to them murdered, they come in and volunteer and come into prison and tell their stories. Tell how each crime affected their lives and the people that's around them. And so you actually you have to face front with the exponential consequences of actions done to other people. So now it's not only you, what's happening to you, not even the effects of what's happening to your family because you're gone, but you see the exponential consequences of how many lives only one decision can really affect. And so for me, that was one of the turning points to really understand one decision changes so many lives. And so that's when I got my college degree, became part of Toastmasters, and did all these things in order to prepare
So these are
myself.
courses that you can take in prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prepare myself to not only be a productive citizen, but make an impact in the community also. Because one thing that I always say, when you're sitting inside of a cell, you're not paying a debt to society. You don't pay your debt to society till you get out and be the change for others. That's when you're paying your debt to society.
So you did 17 on a 25.
17 on 25.
And now some guys have, my cousin Gary Woolston checked in. I know a few guys have killed somebody and they got out in 5 or 6 years, but I don't know what happened. 17.
Yeah.
I mean, say what what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying. So many.
I mean-
How they get out so early?
When it comes to the judicial system, there's
system.
levels.
The system.
There's levels. You got first degree murder. You got manslaughter. Then you
the
have
system. Yeah.
so
Attempted murder.
and then you got so many different quote unquote outlets that you can use in order to cut your time down. So it's a lot of different factors
but what I really want you to touch on the system.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The system allows. I mean,
Yeah.
you've taken a life. I'm not sure,
Mm-hmm.
but if you do this, like you said, if you had do you want to work for me?
Right.
You back home.
Yeah.
But not for long.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You home, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I would be going home.
yeah.
Upper room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
room.
upper room. Yeah.
All right, now we got to come over to my boy Ricky Bennett. Talk to us. Hey, y'all, this is my boy Ricky Bennett, my classmate. We're out of Bonton together, H.S. Thompson, Pearl Senior House, and Lincoln High School. Ricky Bennett.
Yeah, my name is Ricky Bennett, and I'm gonna let you know it's hard being chained. What I'm saying, sin. My life is I came from a family that everybody had the same
Coach
father
Leonard
except me.
Johnson.
It was 6 of us. And they wouldn't tell me who my father was, and I don't know him now. But I grew up playing sports.
He was bad. He was a bad boy.
I grew up playing them sports and things like that. And, I was in everything: drummers, football, track, you name it. Boxing.
I don't ever know. I don't even know Ricky to ever been in trouble. I don't even know Ricky to ever fight.
But after my sport days, me and them played semi-pro, won championship 2 years in a row. Russell got on college, and now I'm stuck. My brother and sister them envy me. I didn't know. I had called Russell, didn't see nobody but me. Then I had to ask my mother one day, who my father. I was in the kitchen, she was in the living room. She put her head down. She said she made a mistake. But I said, well, I didn't get to know him or nothing like that. It was a situation where they fathers and her broke up. And she slipped and had me, because she had 2 more brothers and sisters after that. But she didn't want him to have nothing to do with it. Just my baby. So she got back with her husband. They had Lorenzo and Lolita. But make a long story short, I was doing little theft cases, little stuff. Didn't want to look back. And I got probation for riding with somebody else for what they did, but I was in the car. They tried to give me 10-year probation, but I wouldn't take it. But they said, if you take 5, you can go home. I could have stayed on in there, and I wouldn't have had nothing. But I went home. After that, I got in trouble. And they gave me 5 years. I stayed in the county jail 2 months, and I went to the walls and stayed 5 months and 7 days and came home. 5 years later, same thing. I got another 5. I went to Gib Lewis down in Jasper, Woodville. I did the same thing, 2 years in the county jail, 5 months there. The next time, they give me probation over parole. They give me a set-off in the county jail. I'm like, I'm young, I'm 10 and deuce now. One old dude said, man, chill, just chill. You see this set-off right here? I'm in the county jail. From this day here, 90 days, you going home. I stayed in the county jail 18 days after I got that slip. And then I caught the chain. I went to Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
And I did 22 days. Then I went to Marlin, Texas, at Hobby Unit, which is a women's unit now, and did 50 days and went home. That's 90 days.
Rick, how many times you go?
Can't
Hold
stay
up.
out of there, man.
Hold up. And then I got
My bad.
out of all my cases, I got one. They was gonna give me 15 years. And I had a state appointed attorney named Miss Culpepper. She's a white lady. She talked to me and told me about 15 years. I said, say, Miss Culpepper, can you help me? She said, Ricky, they're having a situation in the courtroom that it's going to take a little time because the judge is mad. She said, you can call me and everything. Boy, I wrote letters and everything, parole, everything like that. So after 5 months, I went and seen her. She said, guess what? She said, I got you 3. I said, 3? She said, yeah. She said, I got you 3 years. I said, can you give me 2?
You reaching now.
She said, she went back in there. She said, say, you know what? I got you 2. But you know what? She told me, she said, you know what? Go on, take them 2 years because I can get state jail. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't take the state jail. I took the 2 years.
Right.
I went to prison. I wasn't in that long. I came on with the F51.
What's that?
What's that?
Oh,
You
y'all
go home
did it?
30 to 45 days.
If I won, well, you know, you actually already up for parole.
Yeah, and
So
you
they-
come up, you go home 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
And they called me out. I had just left Kairos. And I got back to the trustee camp. And the officer
Oh,
told
so
me.
you a trustee
Yeah, I worked in the community.
in the community? What community? Prison community?
No, in the world. See, that when it hit me
On
when
the
I was in the
streets.
world, I was downtown at the monument.
Anytime when your line
Tasha
ends,
Baker done checked in.
you know, you get to go, you close to go.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there street. I was there too.
Yeah,
I
because
was there too.
that's a trustee.
So-
Yeah.
I'm downtown. You know, and I'm
So
on the
you-
street,
you
and these
start
cars,
now,
them girls, they coming by in their car,
you
blowing.
working in
no.
the street.
But
Ricky
you don't
said,
get in
Ricky
trouble.
said a girl come by
No,
the
Vicky,
car.
you don't get in trouble. No, I ain't.
Mike Robinson.
Yes,
You heard him? He said the girls come by blowing in the car.
But it called me. Say, I said, here it is.
Trustee.
I'm
Trustee, yeah.
I'm locked up, but I'm free. You see what I'm saying?
You ain't really free.
And then I'm in the mall.
Oh,
These people shopping and stuff like this.
Well, you had the inmates mad at you.
Look here, I'm at the bingo. We fixing up the
Wait a
scalpel,
minute, Ricky.
putting the lights around.
No,
it,
no, Ricky.
Where they finna have a modeling show. All these women's coming in, they got the, we eating double meat cheeseburger,
Dang.
glazed donuts,
Ricky
and
said
all
he
this
at the
stuff.
mall.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm at Wildlife.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How you getting around?
I'm in the choir. I go off the unit, singing these. Say,
Hey,
it was like,
where you telling the girls you live, man?
that's the reason why you
but
couldn't
when you
get
know
out.
the first time I went in there, and what I was seeing on TV, but the penitentiary and stuff.
what Miles said.
I had to inhale and exhale because I was seeing dudes from Dallas that was mean out here. And we in the line, they were there like this.
What? They in there,
He bad in the world.
but they in there quiet.
So I just, you know what, I just humble myself because now one of them put me in there, I put myself in there.
That's right.
So I wasn't gonna let the time do me, I was gonna do my time.
It sounds like you was in there doing time. You in the streets.
You in
Huh?
the
At the
streets.
mall and
Oh, you just showing out.
Say, look here,
man.
I'm gonna show you something.
but before you do that,
How can I be Christmas eating peppermints in the Warden house?
what?
Warden Row, Taylor
You
Park,
all right over there?
both BOQ,
Ty,
Mike and Cofield.
You eating peppermints the water.
The checkpoints.
Derek, you all right over there?
I was just doing it. I want
Mike.
a dude to get a.
Mike, he's eating
F53.
peppermints at the Warden house.
And if I tell him I got F51, he mad.
So let me ask y'all. That mean he's eating peppermints at the Warden's house. So that mean he doing good, ain't he?
Look at him. I'm at the clubhouse,
He was a
man.
trustee, man.
I'm at the clubhouse. After they done had a company thing like this, we go in there, the warden say, y'all go to the buffet and eat. See what I'm saying?
Mike, Rick
It
living
was
good.
still had favor with the boss man.
Right.
Me, Turner, and Montgomery.
That's your homeboy.
See what I'm saying? No, they was dudes I met in there, but we the only one like if anything to go to the free world, we would go.
Ricky, you told me
And we
this.
probably have to have 2 more people to go with us. We'll pick somebody to go with us.
Ricky, I want you to explain
Go
this
see-
to me.
huh?
You told me y'all was a judge of a fashion show.
Now, we weren't no judge over the fashion. We just put up
how
the
y'all got
model.
a fashion show in prison?
Yeah.
What kind of fashion show, Rick?
What
Help
kind
me
of
to
fa-
understand. Yeah,
The
fashion show.
real deal. The real deal. Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they came. They were doing what they supposed to. You know,
Hey, who-
you know,
who-
like, you know,
wait,
What was this at
look
in
here,
Vegas?
Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret.
Yeah. But who was the secret, Rick?
They were. They were. They came down the road.
Sean
Hey,
Fuller,
hey,
Tasha Baker.
I
I'm just
thought-
asking.
I thought I
Sean
was
Fuller
in-
checked in.
I thought I was.
Say, even though
Yeah, I'm
even though
trying to
now,
go there, y'all, because he said a fashion show.
I feel ashamed because when I was in church,
I do too.
I got the best award in church. I got the best award in church down there.
Get
I was in everything.
Oh man, I
He used to tell me, look
Man, I
at
can't-
he had
fashion
behind the
show.
Bible. I said, you need him
And he
too.
said they don't Victoria's Secret.
I couldn't even watch TV
Man.
without some of
I
them
done heard
looking
it
at me
all.
watching TV. I ain't doing it but watching it. I ain't doing nothing else.
Derek,
You see what I'm
Derek
saying?
just a quit. He just a quit over here on us. He just a quit. He dropped his head. But I'm gonna tell y'all something about my boy Rick. That really touched my heart. And it wasn't the fashion show. His mom had got in touch with me. And she had a letter from Ricky for me. And we in 2025, y'all know we are. And I came by their house. And she gave me a letter from Ricky Lynn Bennett, my boy right there. And he had drew a picture, of a football man and a track man. And it had Russell Fly Flanagan, you my idol. That what he had sent it home from prison to his mama to give to me. That's what he did.
Still got that picture?
This my boy. Yeah, that picture right here.
Took it.
Me and him was
But I'm just saying, y'all, for that,
Yeah.
yeah, you got what I'm saying?
It touched
He
you,
said
man.
I was his idol, though. I'm saying, this my boy, we raised up together, and to say I was his idol, man, I'll never ever forget that.
game day.
When
We
it
go
come-
pick up
when-
we
when
go
it
pick
come
up the cheerleaders over.
See, you know, he could be, if he with me, we gonna get some women. Yeah, if he with me. Oh, that's facts. Anybody know that? If they know me.
We don't want to ride. We don't.
Flowers bag,
take
flowers.
sophomores. We don't want to ride with the girls. The band cheerleaders and all that. They don't. Me and them don't want to ride with. Them.
But he gonna tell me he would have never got in trouble if I don't go off to college. Like I left him, like I left him.
You know what though? I mean, just listening to him and listen to the sentiment. Sometimes they say, you know what I mean, the old saying, blood thicker than water. Sometimes it's reverse, water thicker than blood. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not really connected with my brothers and sisters, but I have a brother out here that I'm connected with, you was his brother. That's what he saw.
I get it. Yeah,
You know,
'cause
and
He
I
was
get it.
disconnected.
But I wouldn't. My family.
Without you.
I can be somewhere. If somebody else say, "Man, we gonna help you," I said, "Help me for what?" I said, "I got some brothers and sisters. They didn't know it. You see what I'm saying? They didn't know it. Some of them ain't know my sisters and brothers this day.
Yeah.
Both of my brothers dead, and one of my sisters. I got an older sister and a baby sister. You know, but
Yeah, Rick will roll. He rolled with me, but if I'm gone, Rick gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would go. It's just my senior year in football. I was raising hell in football track until Rick got on varsity with me.
she got hurt.
Got my knee hurt, and then my stats went down. I be wide open. Rick be like, he take out running, come back to the huddle. You throw when you fly. Yeah.
Oh, man, you know Coach O'Neal, man. You know,
Yeah, I hear you, Rick. Yeah. I say they sabotage.
I ain't never had no coach like that.
Man, you don't never want another one like that either.
But you know, something he said, and it is true, that goes on today. You got a lot of brothers.
Oh, look, my mom say, Ricky, you was always respectable. He was, I told you, Rick, listen, y'all.
That's his mom.
I never saw Rick have a fight. I never get into it. Rick just wasn't that cat. You know what I mean? It was okay. And if somebody had a problem with Rick, he had a problem with us, whoever it was. You got what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just facts. Because Rick didn't bother nobody. Rick our boy, man. Everybody took care of Rick. Football playing joker, man.
I was the type, like football, somebody may make a mistake or something.
Mike, we
Just
finna come
chill,
back to you,
man.
Mike.
Don't get mad at it.
I want you to tell them what you told me while we riding. How you on how you said on the prison thing you was what you were telling me we was riding. I
Get
came
that
back you a while
boy
ago.
around there.
You said you was you know what y'all did on the. You was telling me we was riding. How you and the guy.
Right, what?
You ain't forgot it. We was riding. You said they picked you. They stopped wanting you to with the 38 and under.
Oh, yeah, I was in prison.
I wasn't there with you, so you got to tell it. I wasn't there.
They had this basketball tournament, and they had 5'7" and under.
I never paid the check
And,
then.
they wouldn't let me play, because, I can play basketball.
Man, when did Ricky start playing basketball?
So-
But go ahead.
So,
Every now and then,
so I went to the searcher's desk and told the man, say, look, here my ideas. I'm 38 too. So one of the big guys that got one of the team, he real good. He picked me on his team, you know what I mean? When I first went in, I hit a 3. Then I come back and hit a 2. Say we didn't lose 9 games. They were betting.
So that's 5 points.
You gonna get spreads. You know how they doing it now in the dorms. Say, man,
Tell them the award you got for what y'all got.
they wouldn't let me run the 100.
Nah, but tell them what y'all got for y'all winning.
Huh?
The 100 bond or whatever.
Oh, no, they had the Iron Man run thing, like a marathon. I didn't get into the first year, but the second year, me not knowing it, everybody was betting on me, because in the trustee camp, I used to run outside with them boots on.
Yeah, 21 you
laps.
too, Coach Johnson.
Just be running. So, in the event, you running, when you come out, maybe they give you a bottle of soda, a bottle of water, a donut, a peach. But while we running, when you come across the line, they say, you in 3rd place. I'm in 3rd place. You in 4th, Then I'm in 1st now. So now, it's between me and this white guy. I can beat him, but I'm cramping. So I had to go across with him holding his hand. That's what I'm saying. I went 16 and a half miles.
Okay.
16 and a half miles. And I was supposed to get a pair of tennis and a T-shirt,
Without foot, man.
everything. But I went home. They just sent the brown envelope with a first place ribbon in it.
That's cool.
All right, Mike, we back with you, Mike. So everybody, we don't run around. Now, hold up. No, I didn't go to prison, y'all. They waiting on my story. No, I didn't go. Yeah, I did some things to go.
Just didn't get caught. I'm sorry.
Little Miles, get back on the porch. That's what I remember about Little Miles growing up.
Yeah.
Get back on the porch.
Hey, that liquor store was right on this side of on Everybody
Ricky,
one.
Ricky, you can't get no job up there now.
No, I'm not going.
No, that's
They done tore it down.
you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mike.
I used to go to girl that named Robin.
Coach, I'm just sitting back listening to, all the guys that goes around and, I can resonate with each one of them. One thing I'd like to point out, I'm not certain, but I almost am. You take a calculator and add everybody's time on the board. I did more.
Whoa.
Than every individual up there collectively. Now, I said that to say, God has a way of getting your attention. So God knew that it took me 30 years make who I am.
That's all right.
So,
That's all right, man.
Yeah. So to the gentleman beside you, Coach,
Ricky.
yeah, it's been rough for you. I'm listening. When I sat back here, I'm like, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
Rationally, I couldn't make sense of it. But I understand what God has a plan for you. And I say that wholeheartedly. To my guy Derek, I know he has a lot to say. I know him. We talk a lot.
Thank you,
And
Coach Johnson.
very, very intellectual young man, has a story. And Coach, my thing is, I'm not here to glamorize prison in any shape, form, or fashion.
Absolutely.
I'm here to come. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here to come with a resolution. What can we do to give back to our community? How can I take my story, my negative, and share with the youth, our future, and turn it into a positive? You see what I'm saying? So I appreciate your panel.
But God, like my mom
But
said.
God, I stress it, Coach. I stress it. And each and every day, that's what I wake up. That's how I begin my day. But God, and that's my fuel. You know what I'm saying? And to each of these guys, man, we all have a story. There are many more stories, some greater than ours, And I look forward to working with each and every one of you men, on the panel and trying to see how we can conjoin and go out to and pour into these communities. Because listening to each and every one of us, Coach, all of us in some shape, form, or fashion came from a dysfunctional family. Although I had an uncle that was a role model, perfect mirror, poor and bad decisions. And Coach, you've heard my story.
Yes.
In 5 minutes, 5 minutes cost me 30 years of my life.
5 minutes cost you 30.
Minutes.
But see, I have some individuals that are right now behind the scene, and they just wanted to hear what's happening right now. Is a reason for this, and this was a handpicked audience, a platform. You'll see what's gonna happen soon. So it wasn't for show. It's because I knew everybody would be real, and it's so many different, I'm gonna say, flavors up here, and we know there's a lot more different kind of stories out there. We know that. But these are stories, and I told them that I'm able to, with you and Derek being the only guys that I didn't personally know, that here we go. You got what I'm saying? So when I told them, I said, well, okay, we'll see where we're going to go with this. And that's why I said to you the other day, I said, nah, we're going to, it's like talking to you last night when you told me you're going to be up and up for. I said, why? You said, well, I said, no, I'm still on that schedule. I'm like, what schedule? You say, you still? I'm like, you been out of here? You said, I'm still on that schedule. I just get up. I said, whoa, okay. I said, you know in your head, like, yeah, okay. You know in your head. So y'all still on that clock that gets y'all up like that, meaning your head. So, wow. But it's some things that are, because the people know me, and they know when we go around, because I go around to speak to kids on career day. But it's a much larger platform, and it's not for show. It's not for show. And they couldn't understand how did they grown men, which, like I said, only the two of you, one in my life as youngsters, come back to you like they still not calling them kids like kids. And that's why I had to share Ricky's deal with the picture. Because I didn't understand, how can I be his idol? We're the same age. But you don't know somebody else seeing you. And
Right.
So anyway, I'm just saying that this wasn't for show. It wasn't to belittle nobody. It's just why I told the audience, man, bring your kids. Because all of you guys are doing some ties of bishop. And that's why individuals need to quit pointing fingers at folks. Even though you've seen how they was able to laugh about certain situations, and Miles is just straight crazy anyway. Yeah, he just rolled. He been that way. And then him and Ty got over there talking about they were just green. And they just know they at the liquor store supposed to be selling liquor and stocking liquor. Now they rolling, and he talking about a red light. That the light's supposed to change. And I'm just saying. But then they able to make sense of some stuff that's traumatic or their life that took away from their life.
Yeah.
And they able to come here and give back. Korev said something. I saw what he text. And getting him out of prison, out of Seagoville. And then I'm looking at the paperwork. I don't want to be responsible and accountable for this and did it and wow. You know, and so you don't know how God got it ordered for you to help somebody else. But you got to learn to be obedient and it was things I was fighting against because that's not what I do. Then when I told you the guy called me 2 weeks ago now and saying, you Coach Fly? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm supposed to call you because I just got out of prison. And they said, you can help me. I said, no, not me. He said, yeah. They said, no, I'm supposed to call you because you help guys that just got out of prison. I said, no, I don't have a program for that. Man, I just know I'm supposed to call you. And I'm like, I said, hey, let me get back. And he already said, no, you're not going to call me back. And he was right because I wasn't going to call him back. Then last week when we was talking, I said, on the show, then something just hit me and said, you know what? We're going to do something next week. I had no plan in place. And look at here, y'all. This is next week. And where we going? And we going somewhere. So some things you plan. Then some things going to be spontaneous. And sometimes, you know, when they roll the ball out on the floor, you start playing.
Yeah.
Throw the ball up in the air.
Shut up, man.
Mike, what'd you think about just throwing it up in the air?
Yeah, and I really wanted to interject, you know, when I heard that.
Well, go ahead now. Now's the time.
Let it go, man.
Life for me,
Let it go.
I know this gentleman knows what gravity is. The law of gravity. And certainly, if that dope went up, it was coming down.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
On that same token, Coach, I think it was really just a matter of surrender. He knew game, so, you know, and he really didn't care how it came. You know what I'm saying? It was just, hey, man, I'm through. You know, you give me. If you don't, hey, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he had come to that calm surrender to where, you know, enough was enough. I'm fed up. I'm high. You know, I'm in another element. You know, and I'm tired.
And then he said,
So,
hey, Mike, then he said, when that guy put that laser on him, he said he felt that beam. I said, man, my cousin says it's good to hear authentic brothers who knew that God took care of them through their circumstances. That's deep, man.
That's good. That's good.
I see my cousin Greg here, other cousin checked in. Gabe, that's deep, man. Gabe, you know I'm still waiting on you to be on the show too, man. Yes. Say, man, that's deep. And just hear these brothers say, man, just, and it's almost like you guys just been around me all your life, real talk. Real talk. So when we sit on that other platform, you heard I said that other platform, when them folks start grabbing on you,
Yeah.
like I told Miles, they wasn't already on. See, when the wagon needed paint and needed some wheels and all that, they didn't want to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just tell you how I am.
Yeah.
So when they start coming, I'm gonna say, nah, Derek, whoever, nah,
You didn't help
nah,
paint
they can get in free.
Yeah.
We set up now, but they not on board. with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me.
We give you some free tickets.
Yeah.
You know.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll
But-
take care of them, but they,
But
nah.
But you ain't on the books though.
Yeah, well, I've been knowing them. You still know them.
Yeah. You ain't on the books.
There's a lot of folks I grew up with don't know me.
Yeah.
We still grew up together. Right, Rick? Cut my stats down, but still got the scholarship. But anyway, yeah. Don't tell me I'm still mad at you.
That's what I'm talking about. It's time to get it out, Rick. Let it go, man. And let God.
He was trying to talk about you a while ago, Rick. Little man, he was mad
Say,
'cause
man,
you
I
was
don't know
trusted.
why you mumbling and going
He
on.
was mad because you was trusted. I'm gonna put it out.
And on top of everything that's been said, I think that it's important for some of us to even talk about some of the things that we've been able to accomplish after
Bingo.
prison.
Bingo.
We don't want to glamorize prison and
Yeah.
and how we got there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the things that we've been able to accomplish after prison.
That's
Right,
what time.
right,
That's what this
right.
hour should be about now.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to start out,
So-
Bim?
After the storm, the blessings come. And for me, music came first. I was blessed to be able to take music and allow music to create a new platform. And from that platform, after music, I was able to do 3 small movies. I wrote a book. After the book came the community work. Inside of the community work, I've been able to get certified through the state of Texas as a mental health peer specialist and also a substance abuse peer specialist. And now I have my own nonprofit, Power of the People, and also my LLC, which is DBA'd up under the nonprofit Learn with Train. My life is truly has been about just redemption. And inside of that redemption, I like what you had said. It's not when you come. It's really not when you come out. It's when you go back. It's when you go out and actually begin to do the work. And then inside of that work, a lot of people say, "What is success?" For me, success is being able to see another life transform for the better, and being able to have an assistance in that, and to wake up every day to do it intentionally has been for me. And I also knew that it was possible because for me to see my daughter graduate, go to college, my son win 2 state titles, get a scholarship.
Which is in college
to
right now. Yes, sir.
My son graduating this year and looking to be on his way to college. So for me, that's success. And to then offer that back into a space to where I knew where the absentees were and to be in attendance. And that's all that I really been able, that's all what my life is now, is being attendant in spaces, you know what I mean, the where there's a bunch of absentees at.
Hey, I'm gonna speak on Corey because he had the lead plague on. So when actually he got out, we was going around. 'Cause at that time, I'm making sure he stayed with me. And I stayed with him, cause the paperwork. Then he started a Powerhouse record and just the artist, and then he got the artist out of Houston. What was it? What's the guy? The rapper.
And he had a few artists
I'm
that
saying it just started jumping off, and then he came with it was Powerhouse Records, and it was Clout Records. I mean, it just started because his last venue is the club he got down there.
he had 2 artists
Bob
that made
June.
it, that
Yes,
went
sir.
kind of major with Lil
And I'm just
Peace.
saying it just because he was always a good guy.
Yeah.
He just got caught up, and that's what happens. I mean, I really don't know anyone that's went out there to be a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? So, and he has always done things. And I was with Brighter Tomorrows, that's the battered women's shelter, who I had 19 years with. I was giving in with that, man, because I was always dealing with the transitional shelter. It took 5 years before they allowed me into the physical shelter. And when I found out what the physical shelter was like, it was like, whoa, So it was things like that, and he was on board with that, man, and my boy Spud Webb. So we just started doing things like that, man. So having guys involved. And speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll get that in just a minute. So Corey is doing so much, and he would come on board, man, and just whatever I had going on. So many things behind the scene that you all don't get to see that he was a part of. So I'm just saying, so those situations that occurred, that God stayed strong in their life that allowed them to come out. When people were shutting doors in their face, he was opening other doors. And those people saying, "Come on, let's do this." Hey, listen, and I need some folks, man. Listen, I need, tell you what I need. 2025. I ain't say I want, I need. I need like 12 cases. No, I need like 24 cases of water. That's a need for some people. I need 24 cases of water. But them 24 packs, how they come back 24 packs? I need some cases of what? Lunchables. I need some cases of those fruit snacks. I need some cases of Gatorade. I'm gonna go by the Coca-Cola company and see if I can get the Gatorade and waters. But and if you can get, I need that. And y'all know the trunks. I got to have those trunks for those kids, those graduating seniors that are going out to college. It's time to get those trunks going. But right now, I need those cases of water. Water. The cases of Lunchables. The cases of Gatorade, and the cases of those fruit snacks. Those, the little fruit that come in. Yeah. I need those, y'all. Thank you very much. Now that's what I need. And I spoke on Corey. We're talking about the good stuff they're doing now.
For me,
y'all know my number, 214-789-0065. 214-789-0065. And if you can help. And if you can't, I understand.
for me, it's ministry. God called me into ministry, and ever since I've been in ministry, God's been blessing me. And dealing with, looking at all of this is strange, but this is something that I asked God to help me with, to go and help the youth. And it's just funny how God done put this together. Even when the first time we was sitting down talking, you was talking about doing something.
Wow.
And now God is moving it. And then there was something that I heard you say for the years that y'all spent. Everybody else might have got out before y'all. God had to do something a little bit different with y'all. So when y'all came out, y'all got something that can go deeper, that can touch a man and maybe and will change him. Mine's might be more funny, that I can tell that they'll laugh. But the thing is, way God been working with me, I find humor in everything. Now, because even when I stomp my toe and it hurt, I can still laugh about it because how good God is.
Yeah.
And in my ministry, one of my biggest things in ministry, it sounds crazy, but my ministry in bereavement, I've been helping so many lives through death. Because people lose loved ones, and when they lose loved ones, it changed people's minds. People start not to believe in God because we got other things telling us not to believe in God. And then when we get in trouble, that's the first thing start telling you not to believe in God. And when you start focusing on God and you let God do what God do best, he opened up so many more doors. And now I got my new brothers that God done blessed me with.
Do you understand the chemistry that's in there right now? I mean, it's the flavor is so different, but it make a good gumbo.
And you know me, still with the sense of humor. I was sitting here listening to my man when he was talking about he don't know his daddy, and the first thing I thought about was that movie with the man named Lee John that had the two first names. You know what I'm talking about? So, but that's me.
I never would have thought.
With sense of humor,
I never
to
would've
laugh
told
about
anybody
it.
that.
Not making fun, but to laugh about because
But Rick
I
was eating
laugh at myself.
peppermints at the Warden House
Yeah,
while y'all were locked up.
but you didn't hear what he said. The warden them gave him favor. And see, favor ain't fair.
Yeah.
See, when God give us favor,
Rick
lot of
say,
folk- that's
Rick
what
say
folks-
he didn't never have a cell locked. When did you say you had a TV? Go tell him,
I
Rick.
had my own. We had our own cubicles.
and see when
You know, mortar outlet, radio, fan.
That's favor.
Tell him how you start your pants, Rick.
I go ask the men in the cafeteria that have a problem with rash. So he said, "What you need?" I said, "I need some cornstarch." And he would give me cornstarch. And when I get ready to go back to my building, he would flag his hand and tell him I got it. But he's saying he didn't already check me, and I can just go on in.
Rick told me he said he roll his towel up. What you say you get you make your water
I
real
get my
hot?
pot, warm the water up, and I get the cornstarch and put it in my bowl and turns to white. And once I put that hot water on it, it lobbers up.
What you know about that, Mike?
Oh, I know all of it. I can take the range from this point right on and going on with it. You know, it's just a part of adapting in prison. You know, brother was he always grew up probably looked the part.
Put that
And he wanted
sting
to look
in
the
there.
part in prison. And one thing about that, you know, you heard these guys speak about favor. You know, he was favored because you know, like myself, and I can only speak for myself. I was high risk, and it took me years to show the Texas Department of Criminal Justice that I can be trusted because I was high risk. I had a murder case. I had a life sentence. I had a disciplinary record that came before me, you know, that you know, at one point in time told them, no, we can't trust Ross. We can't trust 673823.
Oh, that's your number.
Oh, yeah, this is number.
As I got on down, you know, I began to get favor. I was shown favor because I had solidified myself as a stand-up guy, a man of integrity.
So do you? Okay, I can ask Rick. Do you get the same number when you go back, or do you give you a different number
Different number.
every time?
427996, 5796.
Oh, you calling plays or what?
6778.
No play.
ain't
No.
no different numbers.
No, I ain't know if he
Yeah.
got. I don't know.
That's your name.
See, I got three
Them
numbers,
numbers.
but my last, I didn't get no number because I had that same one.
Mine was 23, 51. I still remember.
So you only had one number.
Some years.
Okay,
He only had one number, 30,
for 30 years.
Yeah.
because he never did get
And
out.
what I have,
He never did get
what
out.
I have today, Coach, what I have today, Coach, I have a driver's license. You know, I've been out a year now. I ain't learned that number yet. I have a driver's license. So I'm no longer that guy.
Correct.
In prison.
Correct.
You know, I'm a returning citizen, and I'm out here to make an impact. You know, again, with you guys, teaming up with you guys, hey, man, we're forced to be reckoned. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly believe, again, but God, that we're going to be shown favor out here, and we're going to make that impact.
But see, I wanted the audience to be able to see that these guys can laugh. You got what I'm saying? Because you would think that they're gonna be bitter the rest of their life.
No, sir.
It was a learning process
Because
for me.
and it has to be a learning process. You know what I'm saying? It has to be. But it's great. Oh, the water. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ty. Say, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, go ahead, Mike. That's
Yeah,
how,
that's favor.
thank you.
That's favor.
That's favor, yes.
Yeah, that's favor. That's favor. Hey, man, I say it all the time, Coach. I stand on 10 toes flat, but God.
But
You
God.
never know what God has in motion behind the scene.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says, put your hands on the plow and don't look back. Let God take care of all that.
That's right.
Well, he sent me his video the day that he got out.
Most definitely.
He sent it to me, and I saw you, boy. You were trying to get out of there, wasn't you? You scared they gonna change their mind, wasn't you?
Well, yeah, super serving. So I think one thing, it's going to be out of I was the perimeters of TDC, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, I was trying to get it. Coach.
Yeah, you got out of there. You like, oh, we
Yeah,
can
2 days sleep.
all that hugging and stuff. No, let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Say, no, we can do that. Well, let's go.
Yeah, we hug later.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Say, man, But this cat came to Dallas, y'all, not too long ago, and didn't even holler at me. Then you know I'm talking about you, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah, I found that.
Okay.
But I came to H-Town and called him up. Yeah, Mike, don't even know I'm talking about you. That's all right, I got it. Yeah, so I made sure he got snowed in, iced in this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But one thing about this, Coach, God makes no mistakes.
No, he undefeated,
You
man.
believe it's going to circle back around. You know?
Oh, no, it's all good. It's supposed to be like it is tonight because, man, the thing about it, though, and the thing about it, this is my boy. I didn't leave him out, man. Ricky Lynn Bennett. Man, nah, I'm talking about for Elvin, man, this cat here. I remember one time, I remember one day, I seen him rolling. He had come across the street. He was rolling. Laws was chasing Rick. You know, I'm gonna put it out there. They was at him. They wasn't gonna catch him. He knew who yard to cut across.
Yes, sir.
He knew who dog bite. Rick hit the fence, got across. They didn't get Rick till he slowed down. And when he slowed down, he was in his own front yard. Only thing bad about it, Rick didn't let go what he had in his hand.
Yes, sir.
He should have let it go. Rick said, I paid for it. I ain't throwing it away. I know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna put that out there what he had in his hand.
Hey,
But the law let him drop it and squash it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, Ricky, you had to just dropped it. You wouldn't have had nothing. I just bought that. So, but guess we proved. You still run. You gonna say, Mike?
Hey, Coach. Yeah, if I may, one thing I try to do, Coach, and I do, as we go forward and I get to know each and every one of you guys, I always like to give guys their flowers when I see progress being made. And, all of us being returners and citizens at some point, I'm proud of each and every one of you all up there. And just like you have a friendship, a brotherhood with a few guys up there on that panel, I have one with Derek. And I haven't had the opportunity, Coach, just to really tell him how proud I am of him, especially going in, young as he did, coming out, as old as he is now.
I told you he's a old youngster now. Old youngster, yes.
That's what they call wisdom, Coach.
Yeah.
And he although prison was a setback, it actually was a springback. And I'm proud of you, Derek. I'm proud of you, and I mean that wholeheartedly, and I think you know that. I talk to you all. And
I'm talking.
Yeah. And with that, man, having said that, I'd like to hear, from you personally, just to let, some of the people that don't know you personally, let them know, some of the things that you've accomplished since being released.
Oh, yeah. I've only been home for 2 years now. But in that 2 years, I have been the #1 car salesman in my first job.
What?
Wow.
And then I transitioned from that job to now.
Yeah.
I work for a Fortune 400 company. I'm the only person with a criminal background that ever been hired.
See there? Look at God. Look at God.
He actually saw me speak on behalf of that company, which is a Fortune 400, the #1 producing company in that industry. So,
but see, if you didn't tell nobody that you had a criminal background, but nobody, I would have never. Remember, I saw you speak.
Right.
I didn't know it until he introduced us, and I'm like, I just saw this dude. So I would have never known.
See, the deal is that X don't mean nothing. They always hollering about, I got an X on my back. You ain't got nothing on your back. Take your shirt off and look at your back. You don't see no X back there. The X factor is in your mind. That's what somebody done told you. Now you trying to wear the X. The thing is, I look at it like this. When I got out, I thought I wasn't going to ever get me a job, but I did. Because of the goodness of God, and I know God saved me from me. Because
God
when
saved you from you.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I went down there, if I wouldn't have went down there, I'd have been a dead man. God took me and put me in a room, a four-corner room, and said, "Can you hear me now?" That broke me down.
How did you explain that a while ago? You said he took away all the distractions. That was
All the distractions that that was before me, because I was dumb to the fact that when I was out, I'm in the world, I'm not thinking, my head's not on my shoulder, I don't even know who I am until I get caught. And as I'm in this four-corner room in prison, all of a sudden, everything comes back to me. Now, it's reality now. One day, I went to sleep saying that when I wake up, I know it ain't nothing but a dream. I lied to myself. I'm in prison, man. Dude, you in prison. But on the other hand, when I got out, I have my own little custodial service now.
You retired from the city.
I'm retired from the city. I get Social Security, retirement, and then plus I work part-time for O'Reilly. So I ain't hurting. I'm working because I want to, not because I have to. I'm doing this because I want to. And God has been good to me. God has been so good to me. It's like if I decide to want to go off the track, He gonna put me right back on that track, and I keep going down that smooth sailing. The thing is, it's a lot of us don't know God. You need to know Him now, because He's at the doorstep right now. See all this stuff happening in different places. Landslides, fires, all this in Revelations.
Remember when I said every mistake doesn't mean failure? It's facts, huh?
So I just want to leave that with y'all. God is coming back. Jesus is coming back. And hey, when He said He had many rooms in His mansion, I want to be a part of that. I want to continue to keep treating people right, doing the right things. If I'm needed, hey, if I can do it, I'm there. But the thing is, like I say, He's coming back.
You know, I'm a pretty good judge of character in what I do. But something about Derek Durden that, I mean, not just tonight, when I first met him. He just, you say you gotta go?
Yeah, I gotta go do my building. It's late.
Well, watch it. Well, ain't nobody in the building right now.
I know, man, but I don't want to go in there. Shh. I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
You need somebody to go help you clean the building up tonight?
I got my brother-in-law to help me.
I'm gonna go with you. Okay, well, go ahead on. I want to leave you
You
stuck
can
out.
sit there and
No,
to
go
sleep
ahead.
on me. You ain't gonna do nothing but go to sleep on me like you did last time.
No, I ain't go there. I was just walking around looking.
You went to sleep on me.
But you just decided to tell a lie. I went to help this cat, man. No, don't touch that. Leave that alone. What I supposed to do? He been in charge, man. That's none of mine. Hey, mine. We're gonna call your story. Throw it up. Thank you for coming, y'all.
How long we gonna be here?
Here go Rick. What, Rick? You trusted? Where you going? You with me? You want something to eat, Rick? Okay, then you with me? Yeah, I got you. Where you gotta go, Rick? Rick, where you gotta be? You know we still live, Rick.
Huh?
We still live. Everybody see you. We gonna go. Trey, I forget my boy, man. See that's what I'm saying? Y'all got to find somebody you're gonna be true to, man.
Yeah.
I don't care, man. It's my boy, man. Regardless, y'all. What Derek? Regardless, real.
Yeah. And on top of the job situation, I got my own LLC.
Wow.
Motivational speaker. Been inside of prisons. Been speaking on different conferences.
So you
out
go
different-
back.
Yeah, of course. That way you don't forget where you come from. And that's every time I go back in and I speak to them guys, I remember when I was sitting in some of those same seats and the stuff that I was going through. And it's crazy because one of my partners told me something recently. He said, I don't have much, but it's way too much to lose.
I don't have much, but it's way too much to lose.
Yeah,
That's deep.
Yeah, and so it really opened my eyes. Like, there's nothing inside of there that's more valuable than what's out here. There's a lot of things that's out here that you can't get in there, but there's nothing out here that you can't get from that's in there.
Lehman Davis and Jake.
And so for me, you know, and I just recently got voted on the board of directors for a nonprofit organization.
What? Tell me, explain this to me, because I know a couple of people, more than a couple. They don't allow them to go back to the prison and speak. They want to speak, but they won't let them go. Is it a certain criteria?
You got to be out a certain amount of time. That's all it is, a certain amount of
Okay.
time.
They wouldn't let them go back. They wanted to go back, and they said, so a certain amount of time.
Yeah, you got to be out. Yeah, I think it's 18 months now. It's either a year or 18 months before you can go back.
He's just signing the paperwork, and they just doing the backdrop, and then allow you to be able to go in. It's different ways. The chaplains, they have a way to be able to get you to be able to get in and sign the paper, and then it's also what you can actually do through TDC to sign the paperwork to do it.
Because the guy that called me, I forget where it's from, Lafayette, I think it's Lafayette, Louisiana. I don't know him. He just called me on last Wednesday, the night after the show, and he was saying that he would like to, come to Texas be on the show, but watch that, because and talking about just what we're doing tonight. He said, I would love to have y'all to come here and speak, because he used to be a parole officer, but I forget whatever title he has now with the parole system, and come speak. I don't know what's supposed to be planned for. It's just gonna be powerful. I already see it, man. And because he was saying they have fundings for it, and he just said, I just need a commitment from you, coach. And I said, well, I didn't put it as a coach. I'm just telling you, I've been watching the shows. I just don't ever come. I just listen and stuff. So he said he got with whomever, and they said they would just love to have us come. And they just, Coach, you let us know if y'all will. And ladies and gentlemen, they hearing it for the first time from me. You get what I'm saying? So we hadn't put anything together. Well, I say some things supposed to happen spontaneously, though, you know. I know there are programs out there, I know that. But a lot of things I do is always behind the scenes. It just is, you know. But we in 2025 and some things got to come out now. Like I told you, you see, I know you've been fighting a long time now, but it's not a long time. You've been fighting. I've been doing I'm the one been doing a long time.
It feel like a little.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, you know, the thing is it's been this journey been worth it.
Yeah, but see now collectively, but see they dropped the ball on my boy MB, and they dropping the ball on my boy Michael Downs, but they really dropped it with Marion Barber. But we gonna moving forward. See, got that mental health is real.
Yeah.
And when I talked with Shireen Williams, we had a long talk. Like I said, the people from I didn't interview with TMZ. I refused that. I refused with 30-30. Then NFL Films, I told them I'd let them know. I did speak with my boy Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback. I gave him the first little lightweight conversation about it. But when it comes out, yeah, it's going to come out. And we're going to be rolling, y'all. It's going to be fun. And it's going to be, I say, because if I can't laugh, I don't want to do it. I want to be able to laugh. Because, see, when I brought you into the fold, you got to see some things. See, I got footage that nobody have ever seen. And they're going to really understand. Because MB was really an angel walking down here.
True.
And they want to talk just football. He did that very well, too. But, yeah. And then my boy Ricky. Yeah, he going to roll with me, too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gonna be the hype man. Yeah. Yes, sir. See, we gonna all get cleaned up and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's how it got to be, Mike.
Most definitely, I'm with it, Coach. I
Yeah,
mean, you understand.
Yeah, no,
So-
we gonna be as one, y'all. We gonna, I'm telling y'all gonna see how I flow and go.
Yeah.
You know. And so we got another hot. This is a special edition tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I usually do a 2-hour show tonight. We did. We got 3 hours, and
Oh, God.
but God,
But God.
and so Ty, Mike, you and Ty. So what do you think about the? Like I said, to me now, I'm the one that's in awe over here because, like I said, I got the family members that well, they resting in peace now. But I had I had 3 family members, 1, 2, 3, now 4, now 5. Now I keep counting, they gonna keep going up. They used to go to prison like they come out, they get out of prison on vacation. What? They get out on vacation and they go back. I used to wonder what y'all keep forgetting in there. You know, what make you go back all the time? Then I had some youngsters I spoke with. This was early May. They were like, Coach. They say, man, listen, I get all my medical and stuff taken care of. I don't worry about laying my head down. I said, y'all glamorizing it like it's, Coach, my family not like yours or other families. They say, y'all got real family. I don't have real family out here. He said, you way more family to me than my family. So I took that to heart, you know. He said, so only thing I had to deal with is being away from people out here, but I get more love in there. I said, so you buying out like this? Because it ain't buying out, it's what it is. And he been 3 times, yeah. He said, so when I'm out here, I worry about it not getting popped. I said, wow. He said, but don't I always show you love, Coach? I said, yeah, always. Then he hit me with this, y'all. I'm gonna see. He said, Coach, if you ever went down, you gonna have it made. I said, whoa. He said, no, Coach, now listen to me. He said, cause so many folks know you in there. He said, Coach, you ain't gonna want for nothing. I said, man, I don't want to go find out though. You know, but I said, Coach, you ain't gonna want for nothing. I'm telling you. It's just the kind of love you got in there. I was like, wow, I guess that's good to hear, but I don't think, no. But I understood what he was saying later. You know what I'm saying? But I would have it out here.
I mean, the thing is, you know, only thing you have down there is time to reflect, whether you do it or you don't.
Well, when I heard a while ago when you said all them distractions is gone,
See,
and you just like you got to lock in on just you.
I mean, the crazy thing is, like, I'm a realist.
Well,
know what I mean?
before you could do that, like Mike said some while ago, he got more time than everybody in there, except me. He ain't got more time than me. And I ain't talking about in there either. Mike, 30, then it would be there. I can't even picture. You know, he did the numbers a while ago. Mike,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't want to pull no scabs out, but we didn't tell. When did it lock in on you? Okay, you going home. Okay, once you know you was going home, or have it work. When did it hit you? Like, okay, you just did your year anniversary. What this month, right? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
this made a solid year. But just last night, you told me you still getting up like you locked down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it ever? I mean, I don't know if you can speak on it yet, but for the guys that been, will it ever leave?
Yeah.
It will.
It depends.
I mean, this is just me personally. Having 9 years in prison, right? I still did more time locked up out here than I did in there.
Locked up out here?
Yeah, in prison, in the free world.
I still was locked up out here longer than I was locked up down there.
That's definitely.
You gonna have to explain that one to me.
So
Brother-in-law
it's
just
like
checked
I
in.
had said before. You know, like for me, I don't know anybody else, but for me, prison wasn't an accident for me because I didn't care about life when I went.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So me coming home and then going back doing the same thing, I still wasn't caring about me. I lost me. My heart wasn't into me. You see what I'm saying? I was trapped already in my own darkness. When I said that, I always told you, I said, Coach, I remember the time when I cut the light off. I was 19 when I cut the light off. That light didn't come back on. I was around like 35 years old.
Definitely.
That's in that darkness, losing my son, losing a brother, my young brother, to being murdered and still being an open case to this day. I had my own battles that I was going through inside. Prison didn't do nothing to me. But it wasn't until I seen what me being in prison within myself was doing to what I loved and what I had to take care of. And I realized that I was doing to them what was done to me.
Okay, I'm gonna pose this question, and you really have already answered it. Okay, to me, okay, you correct me. What you missed in prison was your kids.
Yeah. The second time. When I was out, I didn't even see them. I saw them. I was there for them, but I made an excuse to continue to live how I was living.
I'm past town there because he was just down there 2 weeks. Ty was down there. Ty was just serving some.
Yeah, I wasn't there long.
Oh, see, Ty was just down there. He was serving. He doing some paperwork. Derek, who would you miss while you were there?
Well, he said he missed his children. But for me, my daughter was born 2 weeks after I left.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So I never saw my daughter in society until I was released.
So she got 17 years when you got 17 years gone.
Yeah, 17 years. She was born 2 weeks after I left. The first time I saw my daughter, she was 5 years old, inside the prison in visitation
On the
room.
visit. Yeah.
I came home 6 months before she graduated from high school.
How's your relationship now?
We went through a period where it was real it was a lot of turbulence.
Because that mean other people in her ear.
It was a lot of different things. I came home from prison to a relationship with a female, and that female and my child didn't get along.
Okay.
So I was in a situation where I was torn between two people that I truly cared about.
Okay.
And so trying to be there for both people, being split and torn in a decision where you should never have to choose between the person you with and
She
your
probably
child.
felt you should be with me now because you've been gone type stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so she felt like she should have been my first priority.
Right,
She
right.
should.
Yeah.
That was my responsibility. And
Right.
so in that situation, we went through a point where I didn't even have a phone number anymore. I didn't talk to her, nothing. But over time, people talked to her and try to get her to understand certain things. And so eventually
She's 17 at this point.
yeah, she was 17. But this happened here recently.
Oh.
We just now starting to build a relationship, getting close to each other, me taking her to breakfast, and me
Okay.
doing different little stuff. But it's been a struggle. Struggle from my perspective, and it's a struggle from her perspective. Because like somebody else said, why would she open up her heart and her life to me if she ain't sure that I won't break her heart again?
Definitely.
So I don't blame her for the defensiveness, because if I haven't proven myself in order to protect her and her heart, she has to do it for herself. And so it's my duty to continue to fight, continue to put forward the effort, even against those walls that's been built up. Because I'm part of the reason that those walls are built up.
And the thing about it, so let me just say this. I've been home now going on 16 years. You know what I mean? So I've had the opportunity. My daughter is 23, one son 19 and one son 18. I've had the opportunity to go through the exchanges, to also realize that there was nothing that I could do for nobody until I did better for myself. And for me to teach that I'm no good to you if I'm no good to me. So whatever we go through, we're gonna go through. This is parenting. When I look back at it, my relationship wasn't that good with my parents. You know what I mean? But that didn't mean that because it wasn't that it wasn't always a good relationship that they didn't love me, that they didn't care, that they wouldn't be there as I thought they wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Because now I'm the parent and I have to go through these things that gave me the understanding of my parents to have enough to be able to now forgive to where I couldn't forgive. See, out of my darkness, that's what I mean, that I was in prison more out here than I was in there. I had to escape it out here.
Yeah.
I didn't have to deal with nothing there. The drug life out here was the drug life in there. I made a living extorting people for money because they couldn't fight. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So coming out is when I had to free myself.
Yeah.
Coming out is when I had to rebuild myself, but I had to do it first. I tried to do it for everybody else. I was failing because I felt like I owed everybody. But I was still forgetting me. And when I began to start to rebuild me and then say, hey, because me working, and this is being honest, me working and everything, you know what I mean, and then taking what I got, I ain't getting nowhere. I'm living in a shithole because I'm still trying to do this. I'm living out for other people because I'm still trying to do this. I haven't truly took the time out to build for me. So I had to think about, what do I deserve? So I can now give better. Trying to pour from an empty cup is not pouring at all.
Yeah.
You have to really get to the point to where it's an overflow. And you learn that, man, presence is better than a present.
Yeah.
To
Like
where,
that.
say that again.
You say you like that?
And I like that.
And it's like, I learned, you know what I mean, just by me now giving my presence, giving my covering, was more than me giving $1.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And-
kind of to piggyback off of that, you talk about how our relationship with our parents are not so much always intact. And that was one of the things for me, even with my daughter, like having to forgive my mother for not being there. It's been like a catalyst to understand my daughter. Because one thing I know and understand, my mama left home at 15, running the streets of Oak Cliff and South Dallas at the age of 15, trying to be an adult. And she never received true love and understanding and nurturing, so she never had it inside of her to give to me.
That's deep.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so by her not being there for me, how can I continue to hold that grudge against my mama when I did the same thing to my daughter?
Exactly.
I wasn't there for her just like I felt like my mom wasn't there for me.
Exactly.
And so now that forgiveness that I give my mama is the same understanding that I have to give my daughter, because I was in the same shoes that she in, so I understand where she coming from.
What? Think about how long your mom waited for it, because she always loved you. Until it came to a time where you can tell her, I really do love you and I really do forgive you. I don't blame you for what you done. Think about how long.
You said 15.
You know what I'm
she was a
saying?
kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've been on so many shows, and even doing my own and talking about these things, that there was time when family didn't like me telling my story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
run
Women
across
didn't
that
like you
too.
telling your story.
My story, because it brought up, you know what I mean, wounds. You know, but I don't have those wounds. I have scars. I'm healed from those things, so I can tell these things now. And I'm not talking down about nothing. I'm actually talking up about it because I have forgave and I love it. I love it enough that I can now be able to tell the story in order to be able, man, to enlighten somebody else. You know,
Who'd you miss? Who did you miss in your family when you go?
My daughter.
Mom and dad. Mike, well, I already know.
Yes, sir.
I know who you missed. He was on the child, so it's really easy to see who he missed.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And Coach, I'll talk to you, man. You know my story.
What
you
I
know,
say,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a touchy topic for me, but like Derek, I'd like to share something with you, man. And that when you was talking about your daughter, being born after you were incarcerated,
2 weeks.
I committed a crime one day. My daughter was born hours later. I went to the hospital to see my daughter being born. I'm holding my daughter, Derek. I'm feeding her with one of those little baby bottles. I'm holding her, trying to hold her head. And all I saw was 2 detectives running in the room with 45s drawn, saying, "Don't move."
You at the
My
hospital?
daughter is in the hospital. My daughter is 31 years old today. And this is my youngest daughter. And when you talk about something traumatic, and gentleman on the far left end, big man, just like you said, man, we got to find myself. I got to forgive myself. I got to understand myself before I can put myself in their shoes. But oftentimes I try to spin the bottle, and I ask myself, I wonder what does my daughter think? It's just like having a murder case, and when you really and deeply and truly think about the victim's family, and you speak about remorse, I lost my mother right before I got out of prison, and I'm like, God, come on, man, come on, and
It's all right, Mike. I mean, it ain't all right, but Mike. Whew. Man, come on. He's right before. That's tough.
that was really an eye-opening moment for me to really look at what I took from another family. Because no more birthdays, no more holidays, no more phone calls.
Ty. Go.
So,
Hang in, Mike.
I treat my daughter. Real gentle. As I understand, I'm 53, man. It took me 30 years to get the big picture. And I got it. I got it. And I'm holding on to it. And each and every day I work and I strive to be a better person. Not a son, father, person, period. And hey man, it's a hell of a thing, coach.
I know.
It's me story, but I'm here to share my story in hopes of cheering any male or female, young, old, doesn't make a difference, that's going through something that I can help. I'm here to share my story, man, in an attempt to cheer them, take them off course and put them on a new course, the right course, and help them to stay away from what I had to endure. So yeah, I feel you, Derek. I feel you, big man. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we all, our stories are so similar. And even though we're different people, different DNA. And we gonna be all right, man. I'm gonna be
Oh
all right.
yeah, God got this.
The beauty of it all,
Hey.
man, is that no matter the storms we go through, the sunshine, man. It's crazy for me to actually. At one point, I didn't think I would ever deserve it. I remember my youngest son, Coach Fly, know my kids, and he wore my football number, everything. But the moment that I met him, I came home. He looked at me and said, "You ain't my daddy." And they had to put him in a Spider-Man suit because I got out in November, right before after Halloween, and they had to put him in a Spider-Man suit for him to actually come out and warm up to me. Because when I came home, he was 3 years old. So when I left, he wasn't even really one. You know what I mean? And I never forget it, man. Can laugh about it now, but I knew I had to be a father. But in order for me to be a father, I had to be a man first.
Hey, y'all, listen. We about to wrap this up. It's been a 3-hour show. You've heard stories, testimonies of some men tonight. Special edition of the On Your Mark show. Sports, business, community, entertainment, and just a people's show. God saying the same. We'll be back next Tuesday night. Gentlemen, been a good night. Mike,
Thank you.
Sir,
man, thank you.
most definitely. Thank you all. Each and every
Train.
last one of them.
Ty, Derek, my boy Rick, Corey, Miles. I'm Coach Fly. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a blessed rest of your blessed week. God bless, and we see you next Tuesday.
But God.
But God.
But God.